Or Georgia soldiers are making their way to Europe right now in response to Russia's attack on Ukraine.
Troops stationed at Fort Stewart shipped out this afternoon to help boost NATO forces in countries bordering Ukraine. Fox 5's Brian Hill was on the ground as they left from Hunter Army Airfield in Savannah.
This type of call of duty is what these soldiers train and prepare for to not only protect our country, but also our allies. I'm told when they touch down in Europe, they'll provide maintenance support as they work to fight Russian aggression. For approximately the next 6 months, these soldiers will be on the ground in Europe to help NATO allies address the violence unfolding right now in Ukraine.
This is the things that we prepare for week in and week out. And that's the reason why we prep that way, because we just never know when things are going to be required for them to go.
Friday afternoon, 130.
Nasa Pilipinas ngayon ang 12 fighter jets ng United States Air Force. Ayon kay Philippine Air Force spokesperson, Police Lieutenant Colonel Maynard Mariano, ang mga F-16 fighter jets ng US Air Force ay makikiisa sa Bilateral Air Contingent Exchange Philippines na nagsimula kahapon March 14 at magtatagal hanggang March 25. Nasa 30 piloto mula sa Philippine Air Force at US Air Force ang lalahok sa naturang exercise. Makakatuwang ng 12 F-16 ng Amerika ang 10 namang F-850 fighter jets ng Philippine Air Force. Gagawin ang naturang exercises sa 4 na lokasyon, ang Basa Air Base sa Florida Blanca, Clark Air Base sa Mabalacat, Colonel Ernesto Rovina Air Base, Capas Tarlac, at Wallace Air Station sa San Fernando, La Union. Ayon kay Police Lieutenant Colonel Maria.
Troops from the US 82nd Airborne Division on the march in the forests of Armaments in Poland's Carpathian Mountains. The contingent is part of a wider deployment of 5,000 US troops sent to Poland in recent weeks. That's in addition to the 4,000 American soldiers already in the country. NATO is sending a message that they will defend every inch of alliance territory.
The Ukrainian border is just a few hundred meters down this track. And as thousands of American troops conduct exercises in these Polish forests, Russia has been conducting airstrikes on Ukrainian targets just over the frontier.
There are growing fears of an accidental engagement between the US and Russia. A hotline has been set up to avoid that.
F-16CD Fighting Falcon fighters from the US Air Force Pacific Air Forces based in Misawa, Japan, arrived in the Philippines to participate in the upcoming Bilateral Air Contingent Exercise Philippines 10 2022, Base P10-22, scheduled from 14 to the 25th of March 2022. The Philippine Air Force's 7th Tactical Fighter Squadron with the FA-50PH Fighting Eagle, and the 105th Fighter Training Squadron with their AS-211 Warrior trainer jets will also participate and represent the Philippines. It will be executed in different areas in the country such as in Basa Air Base, Florida Blanca, Pampanga, Clark Air Base, Mabalacat City, Pampanga, Colonel Ernesto Rovina Air Base, Carpas, Tarlac, and in Wallace Air Station in San Fernando.
Get away with nuclear blackmail, says Fabrice Potier, a former head of policy planning at NATO.
What will stop Putin from doing the same next time, possibly including against a NATO ally?
NATO has repeatedly said it will not get directly involved in the conflict. Potier says the alliance should do more.
Are we fully aware of the danger of not doing anything? If I look at that recent history, actually the risk of standing on the sideline